What's good, my people? Flan Speaks back for another video. Sometimes, you know what I mean, you gotta go peek in on what's happening with this whole, I don't know, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese saga in the WNBA. So I came across this video from this brother right here. It was Come On Now podcast. Yeah, something like that. Rudy's rant, Angel Reese is that bad offensively, and I'm like, sheesh. A lot of these people, man, they spend a lot of time, worrying about Angel Reese's offense. I don't even understand. What's the big deal? Okay, Angel Reese is a rookie player who is absolutely a star at LSU. How they don't know that, I don't know. Like, if you were a Caitlin Clark fan, right, you understand. Angel Reese is an opponent you dealt with. It's the opponent that beat you in the finals. Pointing finger to the hand. Now, people talk about she didn't do that much in that game because she got into foul trouble, whatever. Whatever. She was the leader of that team, averaged 23 and 15 that year. And then saw her in the Elite Eight game that, Iowa won. After Reese got hurt, she was in there, though. She was horsing everybody and dominating everything and showing that she's really the most dominant player. I do remember that, right? So if you're a Caitlin Clark, like, fan, like a lot of these people are cultists. Caitlin Clark cultist, then you will know Angel Reese very well. You understand that? All right. You deludedly believe, Caitlin Clark was the most impactful. Okay, cool. So now we're in the league. You know what I mean? All right. So I'm going to let my man talk, right? And then I'm going to weigh in on what he's saying. Whether I agree, disagree. Let's go. Nice little opening intro. My man got a nice little channel, TV in the back. The whole setup. You know what I mean? He don't look like he played, but looks can be deceiving. But don't strike me as an athlete necessarily. But what we're going to take from is what he says here, I guess. So let's check him out.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rants, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shoma, and I have another rant for you right now. And I'm in a mood. I'm in one of those moods where I just looked at some comments today that just irritate me. I know that I'm critical. I've admitted it. I'm hypercritical at times. But there's ways to have a debate with people, and there's ways to not have a debate with people. There's the things that you say. I don't make personal attacks. I don't have the energy for personal attacks. I don't think I've ever personally attacked Cheryl Swoops. I don't know who she is. I've never personally attacked Angel Reese. I don't know who she is. I've attacked or critiqued their opinions or their comments or their play. But on a personal level, I couldn't care less about either of those ladies.
All right, so starting off, yeah, we agree with all of that stuff. So that's a good way to open. It ain't personal. We're just gonna talk the game, and that's it. But obviously, he's saying that he was irritated by comments. Yeah, that happens, man. In this here space, anyone who makes videos and puts out content, yeah, people will comment. I got some people in my comment section right now that got me wondering about whether or not I'm going to make some material based on, their commentary. But I like it because y'all inspire me. All right. What's next, buddy?
But I have come to the acceptance and the reality and the understanding that there's a group of people that no matter what happens, they will never be honest with themselves. And Angel Reese's fans are notoriously dishonest with themselves. The commentary of she's the best rookie, or she is amazing, or all these double doubles, or she is XYZ, or the list goes on.
All right, now listen, I understand the mindset that these people have. I understand like the psychosis they're in right now. Right now, what's happening in the whole Caitlin Clark fandom is a group of individuals in a delusionary state. How many of y'all saw, Marvel's movie they put out, or the Disney movie show? I'm sorry, that they put out about the Scarlet Witch. And you know how they were in that little town? I think it was called West Town or something like that. And she was there, and she had everybody under the spell that she created in her mind. That's like the Caitlin Clark thing, right? They're in the world that nobody sees, them men, and they're just all believing crazy stuff about Caitlin Clark, that she is the greatest women's basketball player of all time, that she's better than every player in the WNBA, and that she's on A'ja Wilson's level and should be in consideration for MVP against A'ja Wilson. She should have been in the Olympics because her logo threes would have helped them destroy France. They believe that she would have sold out, that French people would leave their house and go watch the game for Caitlin Clark, not for their own French team. Right? These are the types of people we're talking about. So we know who we're dealing with. When I look at my man right now, I'm realizing, okay, he's sounding like one of them. So I'm getting a little scared. Because now he's saying that not only can you not say that Angel Reese is on Caitlin Clark's level, you are no longer allowed to say Angel Reese is amazing. Forget you can't say she's the best rookie. Of course they don't believe that. Hey, shit, they believe Caitlin Clark is up there with A'ja Wilson, who's scoring 27 and 12 rebounds, and teams actually winning, as a winning above 500, I'll put it that way. Already got MVPs, already got championships. Like, they believe that Caitlin Clark, who just didn't even win in college, who's just now in the WNBA, is on A'ja Wilson's level. So this is the level of delusion you're dealing with. So now in his delusion, he sees Angel Reese fans as being dishonest with themselves. Angel Reese fans who have never declared that Angel Reese should be on an Olympic team, that Angel Reese must be an all-star. Now, we're happy that it happened, and we get why it happened, but we never believed she must be an all-star. And we never believed that she was on A'ja Wilson's level. So he believes these Angel Reese fans, us, who I'm sure are in agreement with me on those three things, are the ones that are dishonest with themselves. That's crazy. These dudes are something else, ain't they?
On and on and on and on and on. Now, I have a graphic that was put up by DraftKings. Now, I don't know what Angel Reese did to piss off DraftKings, but I've now seen a couple of graphics from DraftKings that have not exactly painted her in the greatest of pictures or portrayed her in the greatest light. We all know, because it's hit us in the face a million times. We all know that she gets a lot of rebounds off of her own misses. We all know she gets a lot of rebounds off of the shots that get blocked. I saw someone post up that on Facebook that she has had 53 of her rebounds on 53 offensive rebounds on shots that she's missed. I think the number is higher. I believe it's higher. They've played almost 30 games. They played, 29 games? And in those 29 games, the last 8, she has 18 offensive rebounds off of her own misses. So I'd venture to guess that the number is more than 53. And at some point this year, I will probably do a deeper dive into it and go through every single box score and play-by-play chart to see for sure what the actual number is. But
all right. So his whole argument against us having a right to believe Angel Reese is amazing and that she's the best rookie. His argument against it is we fail to recognize that Angel Reese has a low field goal percentage, and that a lot of her rebounds are off her own misses. All right, so this is the picture they want to paint of Angel Reese, for that we have to accept. That if we don't accept, we are not honest with ourselves, right? In their delusion, this is what they're saying. This is the propaganda they're pumping out. Angel Reese is a player with a low field goal percentage, and the rebounds that she gets, which is the one thing that we can't refute that she gets, we're going to say she gets from shots that she's missing. Right? That's his argument in a nutshell. All right. Let me see. Before I crush that, let me see what else he has to say that I might want to address or not.
No, the number's high. She averages 5.1 offensive rebounds per game, which is 2 more than second, which is Aaliyah Boston at 3.1, and then Camila Cardoso's at 3.0. Yet this post says that if you take away her 53 offensive rebounds, she'd still lead the league in rebounds. That is factually incorrect. Clearly, whoever posted this didn't go to math class in school, or was sick the day they taught math in school for 12 years, plus college if they went to college. Because if you take away 53 rebounds from 29 games, what do you have? You have about a 1.8 or something like that. It's about 1.8, I believe.
Right, mind you, I don't really care about any of this. This is a waste of time, and it's dumb stuff, and it really has very, very little to do with why Chicago has won or lost games lately, unless you want to deal in the realm of speculation. What I mean by the realm of speculation is sometimes you'll have a person offer the argument that goes as follows. Angel Reese shot 37% from the field in XY game. If Angel Reese had just made 3 more of her shots, like the layups that she might have missed, then we would have won the game. Right? That type of speculation, which I don't deal with because that's speculative theorizing. I don't care about that. I want to deal with what actually happened. But these are the type of arguments like they offer. That Chicago's losing right now. This is what they want to sell us. Chicago is losing right now because Angel Reese is shooting a low field goal percentage. And because Angel Reese is shooting a low field goal percentage, Chicago is losing. Whereas Caitlin Clark or someone else is shooting a little higher field goal percentage right now. And that's the reason the Fever are winning. Right? This is kind of like what they want to get at. Okay? So he's just harping on it. This number, she had 53 offensive rebounds, and then someone stated, I believe it was Rebecca Lobo from the information that she got, that if you take those away, she would still average the most offensive rebounds or something like that. Me, I don't care if she does or not. I really want to just fast forward this part because I really don't have anything to add. As far as me refuting it, it'll be in my general refutation that will happen in a moment.
Number.
Sorry.
I'm not gonna. Don't quote me. I'll do a quick division of it. 29 divided by 53. That is just the wrong way. I did it backwards. 53 divided by 29. That is 1.827. So 1.83 rebounds per game from those misses. Now, based on that, she wouldn't have 22 double-doubles. Based on that, she would not be averaging what she's averaging right now in rebounds, which is, what is it, the exact number, as I want to provide the exact number as usual.
All right, so what this guy wants, now I know he never played, that now I think it's pretty clear. All right, so what he wants, like there to be, he wants this type of rule in basketball so that it fits his narrative that Angel Reese is not a great rebounder. I don't know what he's trying to get at, but what he wants is to be able to say the rule should be that if you shoot the ball and rebound your own miss, that shouldn't count as a rebound. This is what he wants. He wants it to be if only someone else catches it, like then it's a rebound. So that way Angel Reese's rebounds would be less than A'ja Wilson. That's what he wants. right? Or she wouldn't be a dominant rebounder because of that. Right. These are the types of speculation that only laymen deal in. Like, and I'm not even saying I'm an expert, but I'm definitely someone that's serious about it. Definitely a student. Definitely a student of it. This is something here that's a non-student would actually just sit around and worry about and talk about. Like, this is why we don't take, generally, Caitlin Clark fans seriously. Because they don't know basketball. Now, I'm just going to show you step by step how this guy doesn't know basketball, how he just engages in speculative theory, and it's going to be, I have a feeling this is going to be very clear. Give me a second.
Exact number for rebounds is 12.9. Second is A'ja Wilson, 11.9. So if I remove 1.8, that brings her down to 11.1. Math works, folks, except when it comes to people who detest Caitlin Clark and for some odd reason love Angel Reese for the sole purpose that she's not white, bluntly. Because I don't know a person, she's not white. That's really what it comes down to.
Okay. Now, there's a few things with this here. Now, this is going to be really fun. All right. So, in their delusionary state, the little Westworld that they created, like the Scarlet Witch, where they see and people following what they want and they just see things just in their one way. They believe that it is not even possible to like Angel Reese as a player because you believe she's better than Caitlin Clark is on the basketball court. That ain't even possible. The only reason anyone would do that, in their mind, the only reason anyone would do that is because Angel Reese is black, Caitlin Clark is white. So now, this opens the Pandora's box for us. Sir, what made you say that? That's the question. This is how we open Pandora's box. What made you say that, sir? Why are you projecting such a thing on us? Is it in reality you support Caitlin Clark because she's white? Because if you're not doing that, why are you so easily able to understand that type of logic? That someone just should support a basketball player when against a basketball player that is of a different race because that basketball player shares my skin color. Because I don't even know if you're actually white. You sound like you had a Hispanic last name and maybe a Jewish thing going on there. I guess you're white looking. Maybe you are identified as just white. I don't know. But you make me wonder about that opinion there of yours. I'm a little curious why you're thinking that's what we're doing. Now, we're going to be real about the whole history of it. I think since its inception, which for most people I know who are real WNBA fans, they knew Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark from back in high school. They followed the high school careers and all of that stuff. I didn't do all of that. I found out about them in college. And then I started researching and looking stuff up and watching college games that last year, okay? But at any rate, there was an element of it that became racial. I mean, obviously, Angel Reese is black, and her team that she played for was primarily black girls. You had Van Lifts and a few white coach, but primarily black team. When you're just looking at the images of the two teams, it looked like a black team against a white team. I don't deny that. I believe that Caitlin Clark losing to a brash black girl who was pointing at her ring finger and mocking her, I believe that did create some issues in some white people who didn't like the imagery. I would like to think they are the minority, but I do believe that element does exist. Absolutely. Yeah, sure. I do believe that probably the legit dislike for Angel Reese I understand from Iowa Hawkeye fans. Because when Angel Reese points at that finger, she's not only pointing the finger at Caitlin Clark, but she's pointing it at all Hawkeye Nation. So that I can understand. But these other people who jumped on later because they see a black versus a white, and then they start throwing in the little comments, that have racial undertones in them, and some things that are overtly, bluntly racist, like some of the guys that you got. This black and white sports makes me wonder. The other guy, the little coach guy with the bald head, he makes me wonder. The other dude with I think it's called Lines or something, is another white guy, just wears a little cap and he talks crazy. Some of those guys do make me wonder. There is no doubt about it. However, what I would not do is allow any of that stuff to affect the way I analyze someone's game. I'm not going to do that. I don't do that. I never will do that, because when I deal with sports, I'm going to deal with sports. But now you do have me wondering, sir, why did you put that out there? Because now it makes me think that you have that as part of your thinking. I could be wrong, but that's what that strikes me as.
Because Angel Reese isn't, as far as I know, she likes guys. But she's not white. So since she's not white, people who don't like white folks will cheer for her. Just because. They won't cheer for A'ja Wilson.
All right. Just briefly. Remember, in their mind state, they believe that it isn't possible to think Angel Reese is legitimately a better basketball player than Caitlin Clark. You must believe it because you just supporting the black girl. So he's accusing the whole fandom of that.
Oh, yeah. She's only been in the league for like 7 years. They don't even know who the fuck she is. They won't cheer for Kai Copper. They have no idea who she is. They won't cheer for Kennedy Carter, if not for the fact that she fouled the shit out of Caitlin Clark earlier this year and wasn't a teammate of Angel Reese. They'd have no fucking idea who she is. But instead, they have jumped on the Angel Reese train.
All right, now this was very much a load of poop. All right, so anyway, I'm going to put it this way. I don't know. This is my experience. Most of the Angel Reese fans I know, Angel Reese fans, and let's go based off of YouTube channels that kind of support Angel Reese or don't speak against Angel Reese. We can go to the neutral ones. Most of them have been watching the W forever. If you want to, whether you want to talk about Quita Love Sports, that channel, great channel. Whether you want to talk about Sets Talk Sports, that channel, great channel. Or whether you want to talk about Welcome to HD 2 TV, that great channel. Whether you want to talk about Simply Ball Dropping. A lot of these channels that I know that support Angel Reese have always, they've watched the W for years. Most of them definitely longer than I have. Most of them, if you ask them who's the best player in the league, they will tell you it is A'ja Wilson by a mile. Many of them are Aces fans because they've been following the W. Those are the people I know who are on the Angel Reese side, who support what Angel Reese is doing and think she's legitimately a good player. Now let's think about the Caitlin Clark fans. What's his buddy? I'm going to put some of y'all out there. Ben Daniels. Let's go with this guy who was on this guy's show. Ben Daniels, I recall, early on, the first week, as he likes to put out all the... Caitlin Clark sold 2 million records or whatever. 2 million people came to see whatever the crap he's on. This little pop star stuff. I recall him talking about A'ja Wilson in the Aces game that came on next. And he said, I look at A'ja Wilson, he basically said he doesn't see anything special. It's nothing special to watch. I don't know how many videos these guys have made where they speak down on the whole damn league. How many of them are talking about, Skylar Diggins? This guy right here, he's talking shit about Skylar Diggins in one of his videos. How many of these guys above the lines, the bald head coach looking guy, all of these dudes calling the women of WNBA lesbians, calling them, saying they look like men, saying they're thugs, and all of the various things that we've all seen. But this man right here, and many of the Caitlin Clark fans you got to understand, they're in a dangerous, delusionary state. Now, he could just be on some bullshit where he's just doing this for money, but let's say, I'm assuming he believes these things he's saying. He is in such a delusionary state that he believes we don't support A'ja Wilson or Jackie Young and Candace Parker, who just retired, and Khalid Copper. Sir, we were the ones actually watching the Olympic game, cheering on A'ja Wilson. I have the videos proving that. Y'all were the ones talking about you just wish Caitlin Clark was there and not watching. I'm completely confused. How delusional. And I thought about maybe I would debate this guy, but I don't know. This guy is in a complete state of utter delusion. And if I'm wrong, someone help me. He's painting a picture that does not exist. And that's a picture of Angel Reese fans who don't watch A'ja Wilson and don't watch the other players and don't appreciate the other players. But in his mind, Caitlin Clark fans are different from that. Oh my goodness. Sheesh.
And that's cool. If you like her, cool. But the lying about her is what drives people crazy. Caitlin Clark played an uneven game the last 2 games, and she finished with 23 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. They lost by 10. She shot 8 of 18, which is 45%. Tonight, she goes for 19, 7 and 7. In both games, she had players on her team just horrendously miss wide open fucking layups, which has now cost her back-to-back double-doubles, which is why, of course, we say that.
Look at this. He's talking about Caitlin Clark's last few games, right? And Caitlin Clark is playing well. There's no doubt about it. She's on a nice little run right now. And so are the whole Fever. And then look at what he mentions. When Caitlin Clark has one game where she doesn't have, 10 assists or double-digit assists. And he blames the teammates. If you want to talk about the Fever right now, how do you talk about the Fever without talking about Lexie Hull's defense? Lexie Hull, who just put a nice defensive game against Ryan Howard, one of the best scorers in the league. Right? How do you not mention that as being a serious factor in why they won? How about Lexie Hull against Seattle, what really blew the game away, her making those threes, because Seattle just couldn't focus on guarding all those people? What about the tear that Kelsey Mitchell was on? Kelsey Mitchell was on like a historic tear right now. 28, I think she's averaging almost 25 daggone points a game right now since the break. But all they ever see is Caitlin Clark doing this and doing that. Now, I get it. He might only be talking about Caitlin in this situation, but this is a thing with them. Their state of delusion is so deep. It's so deep that they only see Caitlin. They don't see Aaliyah Boston's interior defense. They don't see Lexie Hull's perimeter defense on good players. They don't see Kelsey Mitchell just going crazy as that secondary scoring option and really the best scorer on the team. They don't see none of them. They don't care about none of them. All they care about is Caitlin Clark, because it's a cult, people. It's a cult.
The rebounding and rebounds and points are a lot easier than assists and points for double-doubles, because I rely on you to make a layup. And that is a challenge for many WNBA players.
So he makes a claim, being a person that hasn't played, just using his logic, right? And his logic tells him that it's more difficult to get an assist than it is to get a rebound, right? So because of that, in his mind, he's saying that Angel Reese's double-doubles are less impressive than Caitlin Clark's double-doubles. And he thinks that this should mean that those who support Angel Reese shouldn't feel good about her double-doubles, or they shouldn't debate with rebounds versus assists. All right, well, let's say that is the case. Caitlin Clark still doesn't get double-digit assists as an average. Angel Reese isn't like, okay. Angel Reese has just recorded 320 rebound games. So if we're going to get into the stat thing, I get it if you believe, not even saying I agree that it's easier to get assists, because assists can be layups, it can be a number of things. You're more, if you're a point guard, you have more opportunity to get assists than Angel Reese gets layups. I'm not going to get into that. Let's just go with his argument. But let's say, how do you say 7 assists are more valuable than 22 rebounds? How do you say that? That's the part I don't get. Now, if you want to say 7 assists are better than 7 rebounds, maybe I will actually I think it all still depends on when you rebound and all that, but I'll actually entertain that. But you're comparing 8 assists to almost 13 rebounds. That's what you're doing. I don't think that's a good thing to do. Right? Because Angel Reese is averaging way more rebounds than Caitlin Clark is averaging assists. So I think you would lose if you try to go with that argument.
Tonight she shot 42.8% from the field. She missed a couple layups herself that she would usually otherwise make. Everyone has the possibility of missing layups in the WNBA. It's like the thing that players do. But there are players that do it once in a while, and there are players that do it a lot. If you want to say Angel Reese works hard, I've always stood by that. She works real fucking hard. Rebounding, she made a tweet. If it was that easy, everyone would do it. That was in response to people commenting about her inability to finish around the rim. After she went 4 for 16 from the field. Clearly, she is hearing the response. Clearly, she's reading the tweets, seeing the Instagram posts, watching the videos on YouTube. Maybe not ours, but it's getting back to her one way or the other. And she's getting fed up with it. She doesn't like it. Well, guess what, Angel? We don't like watching bricks.
Hold up. I thought this dude didn't get into personal things and all of that. I thought he just only talks about basketball. Now he knows Angel Reese is reading tweets and you reading her tweets and all this kind of stuff. But all right, you went back on what you said a little bit, but it's cool. I'm gonna still see you as an honorable man. So you say you don't appreciate bricks. Okay. Well, what I'll say about this is, it's known Angel Reese is, as a rookie, needs to work on her offense. We know that, and she knows that. She's said it a number of times. Since we're talking about things these players have said, she said that she needs to improve her field goal percentage. That's what she said earlier in the season. Even when I wasn't thinking it's a big deal, like I still don't. I wasn't thinking it was a big deal, but she said she wants to improve it. All right, now last time she said that earlier in the season. Then after that, you'll notice Angel Reese then went on a tear during the middle of the year. She actually won Rookie of the Month. I believe was that for May or was that for June? I mean, maybe it was June. She won Rookie of the Month with 15 points, 14 assists. 14 rebounds, okay? While holding her opponents on defense to under 39%, wherever they are on the court. That's what she posted for that month. She had the best PER out of all of the rookies. She has the best plus minus. She's actually the only rookie with a positive plus minus. This is what happened last time she said that. She's been through a slump before. Now, what they're trying to do is, right now, Angel Reese is in a scoring slump. So what they're trying to do is take the slump and say, this is her. And right now, Caitlin Clark is like on a hot streak, and they're trying to take the hot streak and say, well, this is who she really is. All right, so if you want to just go based off of streaks and not a whole body of work and decide who's who, then I'm going to say that Angel Reese is really the player that we saw when she won Rookie of the Month. Instead of, right now, she's just in a slump. Like, we're just going to pick and choose and do that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he would pick this version of Caitlin Clark. All right. But what I don't get about these people is this idea, Angel Reese can't score, Angel Reese can't do that. But remember the last time I recall that Fever played the Chicago Sky? Chicago Sky won that game with Angel Reese scoring 25 points and 15 rebounds. Is that what she did? Yeah. Why and how can after that you say Angel Reese just can't score and she's all terrible and all of this? All right, so out of the rookie class, she's second in scoring. And you've seen her firsthand impose her will on a game and beat y'all. You've seen Angel Reese all year. Why are we trying to act like that, right, this little stretch here is bad? And then lastly, on the rebounding thing. I think he's going to go into a whole soliloquy on rebounds, which is very boring, stupid, doesn't do anything for me. But on the rebounding thing, when you're young and you're being taught basketball formally, by a teacher, whether you're in a league or something like that, when you're taught how to shoot in your shooting form, the next thing you're taught, as far as fundamental basketball, is to follow your shot. To follow your shot. So you grow up with the mindset that when I'm shooting the ball, I'm going to go after and try to get my own rebound. And I don't know if this guy is aware of that. My point is, if Angel Reese shoots and misses, gets the rebound, and makes the next one, what's the problem? I'm trying to understand. I don't think there's a problem with that. I think it's a problem for those who want to just make an argument that Caitlin Clark's a better player. That's what I think they're trying to do. But I don't see what the problem is with that. And for the record, it is a rebound. Doesn't matter who shot the ball, it's a rebound. Where's this weird idea that you want them to make this rule up that states that you can't rebound a missed shot from you? Right? It's a lot of speculative theory. But they're treating this speculative theory like it's reality. So now they're making these videos where they're trying to pretend as if Angel Reese isn't really getting rebounds that she is getting. Right? So they're in that little Westworld thing, that little bubble where they see things based off of their view. Maybe the Scarlet Witch is Caitlin.
Guess what, Angel? We don't like watching you miss layups and then get credited with rebounds for missing a layup right back to yourself. We like the integrity of the game to be, held up here, not put on the ground where you pad a stat.
Yeah, well, sir, but integrity is that you stick to the rules. You play within the rules. That's when that's like violated, then that's integrity. But getting your own rebound is an asset for your team, and because that's an asset, that would not affect the integrity of the game. These dudes are crazy.
In a game that you're down 14 or up 7 with less than 10 seconds to go. That's what we like.
Oh, he mad about the fact that because she could have continued history and continued the streak in that game against the Liberty. Though they were down, she's supposed to be like, oh, game is over. Let me not get this extra point or whatever. Okay, I mean, I guess. What does it matter? Okay, if she did get that point and the streak continued. Why does the streak bother you? Right? When it comes to scoring or getting a certain number of something, there could be a number of different reasons why you're getting it. Sometimes when you go out to play a game, a coach might just say, I need you to get me 30 today. And then you go get the 30. So any person go out, I'm going to get 10 rebounds. All right. I don't know. I don't get all hung up on that stuff. I'm just upset you lost the damn game. Whatever happened after that little extra stuff, I just don't care. Well, I'm happy you won the game. That's just how that works with me.
So I acknowledge that rebounding is not an easy job. It's a dirty work job. It's a hard job. It requires hustle. It requires playing angles. It also requires people missing a fuckload of shots. Like, you don't grab 22 rebounds in the game and people didn't miss a lot of shots. And that's what happened in that game against the Las Vegas Aces, as neither team shot over 38% in that game, which is why A'ja Wilson also had 18 rebounds. She missed 20 shots by her goddamn self.
All right. So this is what kind of blows my mind about them too. This is another phenomenon with these people. In their delusionary state of this make-believe basketball that they have, defense doesn't exist in their basketball. Like in a Caitlin Clark fan's mind, right? And it's probably because Caitlin Clark is horrible at defense with a defensive rating of a 107, one of the worst in the league. Because her defensive rating is horrible, I think they've trained themselves to pretend defense doesn't exist so that way they don't see a flaw on Caitlin. Caitlin is their perfect idol that they worship. and they don't want to see a flaw in her, so they pretend defense doesn't exist. This is what they do. Because he just stated that the only reason she's getting rebounds is because people are missing shots. And then he says that the Aces shot 38% from the floor in that game. Ignoring the fact that that's a result of Chicago playing great defense. Ignoring the fact that Michaela Onyenwere helped to hold Jackie Young to 2 points with her physicality and her aggression on defense. And then Angel Reese, who held A'ja Wilson, who was a normal 52% from the floor shooter or above, to 28% as the primary defender on her. And then the help of Camila Cardoso, who played good defense. And the other ladies who put in a good defensive game. Defense which gave them a chance to win the game. That's the way Chicago Sky have to win, with defense and Kennedy Carter and hustle. That's how Chicago has to win right now. And defense gave them a chance to win. Came down to that last shot. They lost. Okay. But in his mind, the players are out there just missing shots for no reason. They just shot horrible today. That's all. And then Angel Reese just there grabbing rebounds. There's nobody there fighting to get the rebounds with Angel Reese. And then there's no defense out there. So in his mind, there's just Caitlin Clark, 4 players running with her that all suck. Caitlin making beautiful passes and making logo threes. And no defense out there. No opponent out there, actually. Only thing that matters is Caitlin Clark. Man, I don't know if it's Caitlin or if it's crack. Which one is the better drug?
This is the stat that just popped. Oh, and then there was Kennedy Carter's comment. Kennedy Carter's comment was classic, man. Kennedy Carter, she says this shit, and I don't even know if I think she has to know. It's how you view it. Sports Illustrated says that she stood up for Angel Reese with powerful quote. This isn't a stand-up job, bro. This is you keep fucking missing layups quote. But I'm going to say it nice, in a nice way. She's doing the things. Angel's down there battling. She's trying to get some foul calls, playing strong, playing hard. Those are the things you need. She had an incredible game no matter if she finished at the rim. She's doing the things that we need her to do in order for us to be successful, regardless of the outcome. We are a team. We're young. We're growing. And these are situations that we can learn from. Get the fuck out of here. When you say she had an incredible game, no matter if she finished at the rim, that is not an incredible game. She had a lot of rebounds.
All right. So now, in his mindset, in his delusionary state, he can also interpret what Kennedy Carter means in his mind. I don't care how the reporter presented it as a compliment to Angel at all. I don't care if Kennedy intended it as a compliment. I'm going to say she didn't, because everything has to fit my narrative, because everything fits Caitlin. And everything fits that Angel Reese sucks, which is what I think. This is the way this man thinks. To get to the reality of what happened with the Kennedy Carter thing, of course Kennedy Carter meant it as a compliment. Kennedy Carter has always complimented Angel Reese. She probably brought up missing at the rim because that's probably the way the question was phrased. Because you probably had an asshole reporter who is part of the Caitlin Clark machine who wants to just bring up Angel Reese missing layups. That's probably what happened. I mean, you know.
Having an incredible game is all around. It's not just grabbing some rebounds. It's not having your own ball come back. She had a possession where she grabbed 4 offensive rebounds in a row.
All right, well, before we talk about those 4 offensive rebounds, well, I would say that depends on whether or not it's an all-around game, right? When you go into a game, dude, like especially a game against the Aces, you have a game plan. And what you have is a scouting report. So you scout A'ja Wilson, for example. Like, and you think to yourselves, okay, To win, we got to hold A'ja Wilson to this. That's your choice. Or let A'ja get off, but we can't. We got to hold Kelsey and we got to hold Jackie or Chelsea or whatever to this. You want to have some sort of a game plan. So if the game plan was to hold A'ja Wilson and Angel Reese and then Cardoza and the perimeter defense went out there and she held A'ja to 28% from the floor. A'ja got 20 points but on 28 shots. In Kennedy's mind, in terms of the game, who is privy to the game plan, like, damn, she played her ass off to them. To people who see the game that way. Everyone doesn't see the game as field goal percentage looking at stuff. Actually, when you out there, you're not even thinking about that field goal. You have no idea what your field goal percentage is. You're just trying to win a game when you're actually out there. Sure, my man probably doesn't understand that, but no, Kennedy is seeing the effort. She's seeing the fact that we had a chance to win the game. She's seeing as you giving A'ja Wilson's fits, you're fighting. Those are the things she's looking at. That's why she said it was an amazing game, an incredible game, because that counts. Right? Sometimes holding another team's great scorer to a bad field goal percentage is more valuable than going out there and shooting a high field goal percentage. Because if that person's going off and you're having this game of your life, like let's say Angel went out there and scored 20 points and A'ja scores 40, right? What's that matter? Why is that more valuable than if she holds A'ja to 20 while helping her teammates go score more, right? That's the thing.
Shot. And she had wide open shooters standing in the quarter, unguarded. And instead of kicking it out, she keeps shooting. She keeps shooting.
All right, so he thinks going off of that play where she got those 4 rebounds from fighting with A'ja Wilson, like instead of kicking it out. All right, first thing, it might be true that the proper basketball play was to kick it out. Okay, maybe. You know, she didn't. She decided not to do that. What you don't understand is Angel Reese right there at that moment is going up against A'ja Wilson, the best in the game. There's a game within a game. Part of that is I'm going to impress A'ja. A'ja ain't making me back down. We're going to do this. You know, there's a part of the game that incorporates those things. And A'ja Wilson, after that exchange, turned around and started laughing. Angel Reese is earning her respect. I know you don't understand that, and I don't expect you to understand my words. But that's what was happening in that moment that people like me able to recognize. You're looking, well, I'm looking for flaws. Or if she'd have kicked it out to such and such. If she'd have kicked it out to such and such, you know, that's another speculative theory. I don't deal in speculation. What happened was she fought Angel. She gained A'ja Wilson's respect in that moment. That's what I'm looking at. Go ahead.
She's the scorer. So you have her comment coupled with Kennedy Carter's comment.
Yeah, this is another thing he's saying. He's saying Angel Reese thinks she's a scorer or whatever. All right, 2 things. Number one, the player who gets the most shots, who averages the most shots on the team, is Kennedy Carter. When Marina Mabrey was here, she was number 2, and then Angel Reese was 3. What's happened now is since Marina Mabrey left, Angel Reese scoring is relied on more. Her and Camilla. It's been a combination of that. Dumping into Camilla and dumping into Angel Reese. And they should still play that way. It could be true that in certain instances, Angel should kick it back out, and she will. She'll figure out when to kick it out, when to try to score. But no, that's still the right approach for the way this team is built right now. Go into Angel Reese, let her and Camilla decide if they have a good shot to shoot or to kick it back out. And a lot of times, Angel Reese is actually around the elbow and on the perimeter because Camilla's down there. So it all depends. But when she gets her own rebound, she can go back up. You know why? Because Angel Reese makes her free throws. Yeah, she could be trying to get fouled. You never know what's going on in that situation. So it's easy to sit back and not understand basketball and just talk.
And this is the number that here you need to see. According to DraftKings, Angel Reese is first, and I don't know what date this was. This is in the past couple days. Angel Reese is first in attempts, 274, but last in field goal percentage, 43.8% on shots within 5 feet. in the WNBA this year. Take a look at this graphic. That is Brittany Griner up there. Over 75%. She's taking just over 100 shots from within 5 feet. I don't know who these other dots are. Here's Asia Wilson. She's taking over 180 shots. And she's over 65% on shots within 5 feet. There's De'Arica Hamby, who's taking close to 250 shots. And she's just under 65% at about 64%. Aaliyah Boston is taking about 205 to 210 shots from inside 5 feet. She's at about 62.5, 63%. There's Caitlin Clark, who's taking just over 100 shots inside of 5 feet, and she is in that 62 to 63% range. Caitlin Clark is a guard. I'm going to guess that in here somewhere is Kennedy Carter. She's probably somewhere.
All right. This is why it's very important to not look at graphs and to actually watch games. Because when you look at the actual film of a game, you'll see that when Angel Reese is going for it within 5 feet, there's like defense there. Like, I don't understand this basketball of papers and graphs and just numbers and stuff like that, because like what I want to see was the actual play, and the defense that's out there and how difficult or easy the shot was. That's what I want to see. But even with that, and I think Angel Reese fans do recognize the weaknesses in Angel's offensive game. I think that's kind of recognized, but these people harp on it, and I don't quite understand why. They think Caitlin Clark is so much better. Okay, that's fine. But Caitlin Clark is a player that they believe don't have flaws, or at least they don't admit her flaws. They think she doesn't have things to work on. Angel Reese fans, on the other hand, see the good and the flaws in both players. Caitlin Clark fans are the ones out there saying Caitlin Clark is as good as Angel Wilson. Like, she's so beyond Angel Reese, she up there with Angel Wilson. It's Caitlin Clark fans that are saying Caitlin Clark is, hey, she's better than Kelsey Plum. She is better than Alicia Gray. She is better than Jewel Lloyd. She is better than Arike. These are the types of things I'm hearing on their channels, which tells me they're crazy. So there is need for pushback against those type of extreme statements and those extreme beliefs, or you could just leave them alone. What I'm not understanding is Angel Reese does things like she gets more tear down from people, and she's not the one that people are saying should be damn MVP or anything like that. You don't find anyone in Angel Reese's community I've heard say she should be most valuable player. We acknowledge, yeah, Angel Wilson is better. Nneka Ogwumike is better. De'Arica Hamby maybe is definitely on offense is better. Leah Boston, all these different players who are more advanced, who should be better. We understand the place Angel Reese is. So there's no need for this constant teardown, which I don't really care about anyway. I really don't. And it's quite simple for me. It's quite simple for me. Angel Reese already right now has an elite skill set on the defensive end. I've seen Angel Reese guard centers from Brittany Griner all the way down to guards, okay, out on the perimeter, who don't really want to test her. All right, 6'3", good athleticism, 7-foot wingspan, just built to be a defender. She also has nice ball handling skills for this period in her career. She definitely has to keep using it and has to improve. But she actually was a guard back in high school. She was actually a guard back then. So that guard is somewhere in there. Now you have to adjust to this higher level of competition. When you look at college, she handed the ball much more. Did much more playmaking, did all these different things. I believe that playmaker and all of those things are in there. And I believe that will come out in due time. I'm not up here making the argument, oh yeah, she's like Candace Parker right now, or she's any of these people right now. That's ridiculous and that's silly. I know she has a skill set right now that can help me win, because when I play a team, I can count on her to not allow a player to go off. That's an asset to me. because I see both sides of the ball. I'm not in this delusionary way of looking at basketball where defense doesn't exist, where the player that I'm rooting for doesn't have to play defense, because these guys never bring that up. Angel Reese, at every level, okay, of the defense, whether she's out on the perimeter guarding someone or whether she's guarding someone within 5 feet, has one of the best percentages of keeping the opponent at shooting in the league. If you are 5 to 8 feet away from the rim and Angel Reese is guarding you, you are going to score at a 33% clip. This is what the numbers say. You can check it out on the website WNBA and go through it. Go to defense, go to personal defense, and go to the opponent's field goal percentage. If you are 10 to 15 feet, Angel Reese is keeping you at a 36% clip. And if you are out there on the perimeter, she's keeping you at a 34% clip. All under 40%, all under 39%. That is excellent. Okay, these are some of the best numbers in the league. The only people doing that are like AJ Wilson, Dejanay Carringtons, and others like that, and a few others. Actually, Skylar does it as well. There's a few others. But that's what she does right now that I can count on. I also know she's going to get me anywhere between 10 to 20 rebounds. That's rebounds. What this guy, I don't think he quite understands is rebounds tell you who's really the most dominant player out there. Because I can get to the ball. I can control the pace. I control the tempo here. I control this area called the paint when you're a defender. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Caitlin Clark, good player, man. Good player. Probably will be great, but I just believe she combines two things that you can't have in a basketball player, in particular a point guard. You can't turn the ball over a whole lot, and you can't get cooked on defense. You have those two things, to me, you're ultimately a liability. You're ultimately a liability. Now, the way I can tolerate it is if you are a 3-level scorer and a closer. I'm not certain Caitlin Clark is those two things, right? In other words, I can tolerate your turnovers, and I can tolerate you giving up 20 damn points, because if you go look up the same percentages with Caitlin Clark, at whatever level you guard Caitlin Clark, if you got Caitlin Clark in the post, you can score at a 65% clip. I just looked it up the other day. If you got Caitlin Clark at damn 5 to 8, it's about 45%. If you got her from 10 to 15, it's about upwards of 46 damn percent. If you got Caitlin Clark at the 3-point line, she can't even stick that. Overall, she's about, if you got Caitlin Clark on you, it's barbecue chicken, about 45% from the field. You're going to have that type of day. All right, the only way I can tolerate you doing that and turning the damn ball over for me is if you are a 3-level scorer and a closer, meaning that whenever we need a bucket, I know you can get it. Right now, I don't know that. I feel like I know that more about Kelsey Mitchell than I do about Caitlin Clark. And we're going to go with the rookie thing, that's fine. But let me tell you something. When you start talking MVP conversations, then I'm going to start comparing her to Napheesa Collier, Stewie, and AJ Wilson, since you want to do that. But if you want to keep that part out, fine, we'll go with the rookie thing. As a rookie, she is off to a very good start in her career. May go down as the greatest passer this league has ever seen. That is possible. But I'm telling you right now, she's going to have to improve on defense, and she's going to have to get them damn turnovers out the game. The way to counter that, though, she better improve on offense. She needs to be able to score in the mid-range. She needs to be able to score at a better clip when it comes to, like, once she gets past the defender. I need to see a more consistent floater. I need to see a Euro step to the basket. I need to see a better layup package. All of those different things. Because I cannot tolerate a player getting cooked for me on defense. It makes me want to get rid of you immediately. That's just me. Everybody's different. It looks like this brother's video goes on forever. Maybe I'll do a part 2. I don't know. But this is getting a little too long for me. So I'm just going to cut it off there. All right. So anyway, this is my man. I don't know. I ain't going to say my man. Rudy's Rant. Caitlin Clark fan. You know. Yeah, thank him for what he provided for this too. So, because we need to have these conversations, man. Peace out.